Obviously, you were preparing your team to take part in so many championships, but the COVID-19 hits us in a bad way. How difficult was it to prepare the guys in terms of the pandemic and also during that time?
Yeah, it was difficult. I mean, if we can remember clearly that first part was a hard lockdown where you weren't allowed to leave our house. So we tried to keep the guys engaged, not just from a physical perspective, but mentally as well, and tried to keep their brains going as well with a few online courses that we did with the guys. And then when they came back, just that uncertainty made it really difficult, and the motivation, because every time we prepare for something and then it gets cancelled, and then there's another tournament, and as we get closer to that tournament, that tournament gets cancelled. So every time the guys were like, but why are we training this hard? What are we preparing for? So at times it was difficult, especially with the motivation for the players, because they needed to work towards something and there was nothing. But eventually, as soon as they realized that the series or the World Series is going to continue and there's tournaments and we are often actually playing in those tournaments, that motivation almost came back again, and it was a lot easier to then get out into the field and push the guys as hard as we want them to be pushed, because that's what makes them successful on the field.
I've been into sport for a long time, and you agree with me if I say the relationship between the players and the coach is more important. Looking at a coach, you've been working with a coach now as well. How important is that relationship, and what does a coach bring to you guys that keeps you guys going and winning all the time?
That's a good question. Obviously a coach and a player relationship is crucial. I think trust is very important. Luckily, Coach Neil is a very open guy and honest. You can always go to him if you differ of his opinion. But yeah, that's he always knows what he's talking about, so you just trust what he says. But yeah, the system is built on honesty, and that's how our system operates. It's a very open system, so it's no dictatorship there. I think Coach is definitely the coach and he's the leader, but he definitely listens to us as well, and that's where I have a lot of respect for him as well, because other coaches are more dictatorships. What they say goes. Coach Neil is very open to our leadership group and opinions of how we feel in terms of training and so forth, and he will listen to us and adapt training and so forth.
And also from you guys, do you think there's this pressure now in terms of the Blitzboks being that team everyone is fear of playing against? Do you carry that pressure to win every series that you go to?
Yeah, definitely. I think whenever you put on that jersey, there's always a target on your back, especially now winning, I think, 6 tournaments in a row. There's never an easy game in sevens, especially now after us being so successful. I think if a team beats us, I think that's kind of how they will remember that tournament. That's kind of a win for them. So yeah, it's up to us to make sure that we're 100% ready for every single match, because there's no easy game when you play against Blitzboks.
And Coach, as he said, winning all these games and also losing a captain as well, Osiviwe, but the team keeps winning as well. How do you then maintain that performance from the guys?
Yeah, I think the credit must be given to the whole system. I think it's a system that really works well together. That's the reason why we started the Sevens Academy, so that when we lose players to injury or retirement or deciding to move on to 15s, that the next generation of 7 players is ready to step up and perform at that level. So I think all the academy guys that got the opportunity to play in the World Series this year has really done well and well, basically grabbed their opportunity with both hands. So credit to the system, and for the guys at the academy, that's also the coaches and Marius Kuman, the high performance manager, that identify that new generation of sevens players and then coach them the fundamentals and take them to invitational tournaments, so that when they get to the World Series, they've already played 4 invitational tournaments, so they don't go to the World Series and that's their first sevens tournament. So, and I think that has definitely helped us a lot to be consistent, even when we have lost players moving on to 15s or then due to injuries. And I think the other thing is the leadership group. It's not just the captain that's the leader of the team. We have a leadership group. So if somebody gets injured, like Seviwe got injured in Spain now, then the next guy is ready to make that step up as a leader, because it's not just one person, but it's a group of leaders that we try to develop in that system.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.